The history of the United States is vast and complex, encompassing various periods, significant events, and cultural transformations. Here is a broad overview. Pre-colonial period. Indigenous peoples. Before European colonization, numerous indigenous tribes inhabited what is now the United States. These diverse cultures had complex societies with rich traditions, languages, and governance systems. Exploration and colonization, 1492 to 1763, Christopher Columbus, sailing under the Spanish flag, arrived in the Americas, leading to European exploration. 1607, the English established Jamestown in Virginia, the first permanent English settlement. 1620, Pilgrims founded Plymouth Colony in Massachusetts. Colonial era. Throughout the 17th and early 18th centuries, European powers, including Spain, France, and England, established colonies. These colonies developed distinct regional characteristics and economies. Revolutionary period, 1763 to 1789. 1765 to 1783, tensions between the American colonies and Britain grew, partly due to taxation and lack of representation. This led to the American Revolution. 1776, the Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4th, proclaiming the colony's independence from Britain. 1781, the British surrender at Yorktown effectively ended the Revolutionary War. 1787, the U.S. Constitution was drafted in Philadelphia, establishing the framework for the federal government. 1789, the Constitution was ratified, and George Washington became the first president. Early Republic and expansion, 1789 to 1849. 1803, the Louisiana Purchase doubled the size of the U.S. by acquiring territory from France. War of 1812, conflict with Britain over trade and territorial expansion. It ended in a stalemate, but fostered national pride. 1820s to 1840s, manifest destiny. The belief that the U.S. was destined to expand across North America fueled westward expansion and conflicts with Native Americans and other nations. 1846 to 1848, the Mexican-American War resulted in the U.S. acquiring territories, including California and the Southwest. Civil War and Reconstruction, 1860-1877. 1860, Abraham Lincoln's election led to Southern states seceding from the Union, forming the Confederate States of America. 1861 to 1865, the Civil War was fought between the Union, North, and the Confederacy, South, primarily over slavery and states' rights. 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation declared freedom for slaves in Confederate states. 1865, the Civil War ended with the Union's victory. Lincoln was assassinated, and the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. Reconstruction, efforts to rebuild the South and integrate formerly enslaved people into society. The 14th and 15th Amendments granted citizenship and voting rights to African Americans. Industrialization and progressivism, 1877 to 1914. Late 19th century, rapid industrialization transformed the U.S. economy, leading to urbanization, immigration, and social changes. Progressive era, reform movements sought to address problems caused by industrialization, including workers' rights, women's suffrage, and corruption. World Wars and Interwar period, 1914 to 1945. World War I, the U.S. joined the Allies in 1917, contributing to the war's end in 1918. 1920s, economic prosperity and cultural change, known as the Roaring Twenties, followed by the Great Depression in 1929. World War II, the U.S. entered the war in 1941 after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. The Allies' victory in 1945 established the U.S. as a global superpower. Post-war era and Cold War, 1945 to 1991. Cold War, a geopolitical struggle between the U.S. and Soviet Union. It involved nuclear arms race, space race, and various proxy wars, e.g., Korea, Vietnam. Civil rights movement. The 1950s and 1960s saw significant efforts to end racial segregation and discrimination, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr. 1969. The U.S. landed the first humans on the moon during the Apollo 11 mission. 1980s. Economic policies under President Ronald Reagan focused on deregulation and tax cuts. The Cold War ended with the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991. Contemporary period, 1991 present, 1990s. The U.S. experienced economic growth and technological innovation, particularly in information technology. 2001, the September 11 terrorist attacks led to the War on Terror, including wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. 2008, the Great Recession caused significant economic challenges. 2008, Barack Obama was elected as the first African American president. 2010s, issues such as climate change, healthcare, and immigration continued to shape political and social debates. 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic caused global disruptions. The U.S. also faced significant social and political unrest, including movements for racial justice. Current challenges and developments. The U.S. continues to grapple with political polarization, economic inequality, healthcare reform, and environmental sustainability. Technological advancements and global leadership in various sectors remain key focuses.